Hello, and welcome to the Georgia Tech Scheller Full-Time MBA program. We have a wealth of information to share with you, but if you have any questions after listening to this recording, please email us at mba@scheller.godtech.edu. In this recording, we'll start by discussing why you should pursue an MBA. Next, we'll talk about Atlanta and Tech Square. After that, we'll speak specifically to the Scheller MBA community, curriculum, and career services. We'll end with information about admissions to the Scheller MBA and what next steps an applicant can take. There are many reasons to pursue an MBA. The Graduate Management Admissions Council recently conducted a survey of MBA alumni. This survey revealed that the most common reason alumni chose an MBA was for financial reasons. Many also were driven to the MBA because of the professional and personal reasons. The MBA has broad appeal because it is extremely versatile. While many students choose to take a breadth of coursework, there is also the option to go deep within one functional area. When employers are looking for someone with an MBA, they are typically looking for someone who has been trained across disciplines and can apply general frameworks to solve problems. Further, the MBA degree is a well-recognized designation across industries. The MBA experience will be highly valued if you change industries or roles, and it will either set you apart as a candidate for a position, or it may gain you entry as a requirement for consideration. Another distinguishing feature of MBA programs is that they work with students on their career. This is a departure from most graduate programs. MBA programs are deliberate about helping students get a new job through professional and career development. We'll speak to the specific strong results of the Scheller MBA career services later on in this recording. However, this slide illustrates the hiring projections across the country for MBA candidates. The data, again, comes from the Graduate Management Admissions Council, who did a survey in 2018 with corporate recruiters. In each industry and company type and size, employers indicated that they expected to hire more MBAs than the year prior. The community, including classmates, alumni, faculty, and staff within your MBA, should be strong and provide you with a network to last the rest of your career. MBA students learn from peers as well as from professors. The MBA is a collaborative experience in which you will deepen professional and personal relationships. At Scheller, you can expect to encounter a high caliber of peers that you will learn from and enjoy being around. From this shared experience, you will form deep bonds that will last a lifetime. There are several ways to calculate ROI, which is return on investment. We can help you calculate your specific ROI, but for this exercise, we used an entering salary of $55,000 and the Scheller average exiting salary and average merit award, which we'll see in specific later on in this recording. Using these figures, it should take most students less than 4 years to recoup their investment. And over a 10-year period, MBA graduates from Scheller could expect to receive around $400,000 with no salary increases accounted for. The MBA is a sound investment for your financial future. So now we're going to look a little bit more specifically at the Scheller College of Business, Atlanta, and Tech Square. This is a picture of Tech Square. Tech Square is the hub of Atlanta's startup ecosystem. It's in the heart of Midtown Atlanta, where many businesses are located. Here, startup ventures, large companies, and higher ed collaborate to impact economic development. There are over 20 innovation centers in Tech Square with companies like Delta, Home Depot, Coca-Cola, and more. ATDC, which is the Advanced Technology and Development Center, is ranked one of the world's top technology incubators. This incubator is right here in Tech Square on Georgia Tech's campus, but it serves the whole state of Georgia, bringing much economic development to our state. So this is Tech Square, where the Scheller College of Business is located in Atlanta, Georgia, but we are part of Georgia Tech and on Georgia Tech's campus. The majority of Tech's campus is very residential with a lot of green space. I always like to show this picture in contrast to the previous picture so you can see the amount of tree canopy that we are really lucky to have in such a big city like Atlanta. So Tech Square is in the far background of this picture, and the rest of campus has a lot of residential areas, but also pedestrian only running and walking. And so MBA students do use the rest of campuses for recreational purposes like intramurals, key speakers coming to events, or even if they want to go somewhere else to study. The whole College of Business is located in Tech Square, like I said, in the far background of this picture. But MBA students do get to enjoy the wonderful campus that is Georgia Tech here in Atlanta.
Hi everyone. So as Anne-Marie mentioned, my name is Lexi and I'm a second-year MBA student. Before returning to school to pursue my MBA, I spent 2 years working in broadcast and digital journalism, first at E! News as a production assistant and then at a digital outlet called Newsy as a producer and reporter. I interned this past summer at Cox Media Group in digital strategy and will be joining AT&T's leadership development program after graduation. So I chose Atlanta to pursue my MBA because it's a global city with exciting professional opportunities. It's one of the 10 largest cities in the US, while still an extremely affordable place to live. Atlanta ranks third for Fortune 500 headquarters in the US, and it's home to thousands of corporate offices, including all of the top consulting firms and more than a dozen startup incubators. And as Anne-Marie mentioned, many companies and startups are located right here in Tech Square. So just a few of those corporate offices that are located here include AT&T, Delta, NCR, PwC, SunTrust, the Boston Consulting Group, Coke, Home Depot, UPS, and so many more. But Atlanta is also home to the world's most traveled airport. Hartsfield-Jackson International offers accessibility to all domestic and global destinations, making it really easy to get home or travel during breaks. And the airport is just an easy 20-minute ride from Georgia Tech's campus. We also have several professional sports teams. We have the Braves for baseball, the Falcons for football, the Hawks for basketball, and Atlanta United for soccer. Plus, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets are a big ACC school, which makes it super fun to attend games and tailgates. Great weather and a variety of recreational and entertainment attractions round out an unparalleled quality of life for our students. There are also several popular neighborhoods right near Tech Square where young professionals live and socialize. Places like Ponce City Market or Atlantic Station are recently renovated mixed-use developments. Other places like Buckhead or Midtown near Piedmont Park are more established neighborhoods with lots to offer. All this to say, Atlanta is a city that offers something for everyone, and we would love for you to come for a visit. I grew up in Atlanta and chose to return because of the fun neighborhoods, the friendly people, and wealth of opportunities. Now I'm going to turn it back to Anne-Marie.
The community within your MBA should be strong and provide you with a network to last the rest of your career. Here at Scheller, we have an extremely collaborative community. You will find support and friendship amongst your classmates, which we believe is an important ingredient to being successful while in the program. Students are members of clubs and committees, and there are many networking events and community service events.
So as Anne-Marie mentioned, the full-time program at Scheller is a very tight-knit community. We have a 2-week orientation, so we know one another extremely well. And there's a lot I can say to help explain our community. To start, I can mention some social aspects of our program, which are planned by our social committee. There are weekly socials, a holiday party, an annual MBA prom, an annual Diwali festival, and more. Our weekly socials vary from a faculty-led spelling bee, which is super fun and competitive, to Georgia Tech Six Flags night, Thanksgiving potluck, game night, end-of-the-year parties, and Soul Cycle and brunch. Outside of official socials, we really do love to hang out with one another. Group trips are always planned, like weekends in Tennessee or Florida, trips to Puerto Rico, and spring break. This fall, we actually planned a road trip to New Orleans and Baton Rouge for the LSU-Bama game. And the best thing is that all activities are inclusive, so you'll often find significant others, spouses, and families who join in on the fun. Our student government is called the Graduate Business Council, or the GBC. Each spring, elections are held for the 5 GBC leadership positions. The GBC oversees many things, including our committees and clubs. Over 50% of our cohort is a leader in some way, either as a member of the GBC, a committee chair, or a club leader. And I've already discussed the numerous activities the social committee plans, and I can't possibly list all the activities that every committee coordinates, but some of note are the alumni committee, which plans the annual homecoming tailgate in the fall and the crawfish boil in the spring, both of which bring many alumni back to campus. This past crawfish boil actually brought in over 500 attendees, so it's always a really great time with awesome networking opportunities. The athletic committee organizes intramurals and tailgates for all of the home football games and so much more. The communications committee started our student-led podcast called The Intersection, which if you haven't heard it yet, you should definitely check that out. And the philanthropy committee hosts blood drives, Scheller Days of Service, where we do service projects across Atlanta, and the annual St. Bernard Project, where students travel to New Orleans for a week over winter break to help with Hurricane Katrina rebuilds. As far as clubs, it's possible to be a member of more than one club. We have a central calendar for all meetings and events, so club meetings are never planned at the same time. And there's a number of student clubs and organizations. To name just a few, we have finance, marketing, consulting, entrepreneurship, operations, MBA ambassadors, and women in business. Clubs plan events with speakers and panels from many different industries. And not every club, but a lot of them will organize our community with case competitions. There are case competitions going on constantly and groups form throughout the year to participate in them. One thing that I really love about being involved with the various clubs is also the networking opportunities, because it's just another way to get to know the cohort both ahead and behind you. So as a small cohort, we're able to make improvements and changes pretty quickly. Our Assistant Dean of Student Engagement conducts small, 4 to 5 people focus groups every spring, and she listens to all of us, and together we make enhancements to the program. For example, in the last few years, the GBC has created the following programs that future cohorts have continued. We have the Peer Leader program, so every incoming classmate will receive a second-year mentor who then becomes a great resource for elective classes, internship recruiting tips, and how to make the most of your MBA experience. I actually ended up becoming really great friends with my mentor, and I still keep in touch with her even though she's graduated. This year, we also implemented peer tutoring. So at the end of last semester, GBC asked me and my classmates to volunteer to tutor anyone struggling in the core. And not only is this a great way to get to meet the second years, but it's reinforcing of the fact that we're really all in this together. There's always going to be a class that seems harder than the others. And again, we're in this together. So don't ever be afraid to reach out for help if you feel like you need it. And in the same way we're interested in knowing about our fellow classmates, Scheller has created the opportunity for us to connect similarly with the faculty. Through the Take a Professor to Coffee program, we're given Starbucks gift cards to take professors to coffee and learn about their careers. We have some awesome professors teaching in the program, and it's so fun and interesting to learn about their careers and research. And finally, last semester we implemented a new way to get to know about our classmates, the Scheller Student Speaker Series. Each Thursday, we have 1 or 2 full-time students prepare a 30-minute talk about their life experiences. These talks range from vocal lessons taught by a former theater professional to learning about the love languages from a married couple in the program.
We'll now spend a few minutes covering the curriculum of the Scheller full-time MBA program. At Scheller, MBAs work collaboratively to come up with an innovative solution. Sustainability, analytics, entrepreneurship, big data, and global business are all trends in today's business world. Our MBA prepares students for leadership in today's globally driven economy. While maintaining a traditional MBA degree where you do not need a STEM or business background to apply, we are the intersection of business, technology, and innovation. You can meet this intersection as close as you would like to. No matter your technical skills, Georgia Tech's MBA will broaden your knowledge so you can advance your career. The full-time MBA is a 2-year program of study. It is a total of 54 credit hours, split between 21 hours of MBA core, 33 hours of electives, and a summer internship. An MBA will assume you have no background in business education. The core includes all of the traditional courses like accounting, finance, marketing, as well as classes focused on leadership, organizational behavior, business law, and business ethics. This core creates a strong academic foundation that gives you both the analytical tools and communication and leadership skills that are crucial for management roles. You'll take all of your core MBA classes as a cohort, meaning you take all of the core classes with everyone else who starts the MBA the same year as you. It's a very tight-knit, collaborative community. This slide shows you the 4 semesters of the full-time MBA program. What I love about our curriculum is that our core is condensed and mostly completed in the first semester, allowing you to take electives second semester. Core classes are represented there in the dark blue. The core classes you see second semester are a leadership course and a strategy class that implements all the material students learn first semester. As I mentioned, you take all of your core MBA classes as a cohort. Before you even start classes, your cohort will have a 2-week orientation. Students know their peers extremely well before classes even start. Lexi's going to talk a little bit more about her first semester at Georgia Tech.
Taking all of my core courses in the first semester seemed like a lot at first, but the half semester pace makes it actually very accomplishable. Because Georgia Tech MBAs finish most of their core courses in the first semester, we're then able to take strategic management and elective courses as soon as the spring. Doing so allowed me to take elective courses that were specific to my internship.
After completing core courses, students have 11 electives to select, and there are a lot of electives to choose from. This slide lists both immersive tracks and concentrations. Immersive tracks and concentrations are roadmaps of what electives to take to develop expertise in specific business areas. So again, students have 11 electives. A concentration typically takes about 3 electives to complete, while an immersive track would take 4 electives to complete, typically. Both are optional, and students can customize the curriculum to select a few concentrations combined with an immersive track, or take electives under multiple areas to have more of a general management focus to their MBA. The overall curriculum is designed to be extremely flexible so students can tailor their degree to meet their professional and personal goals. We won't be able to cover in detail every single elective that we have to offer. So I do encourage you to go back and revisit our website to look at the curriculum and look at immersive tracks and concentrations. Under every area, the elective course name and description is listed. So you can read all of the course names and descriptions for all of the concentrations and immersive tracks that you see here. But I'm going to let Lexi talk a little bit more about her personally tailored academic path.
I'm concentrating in strategy, but I'm also pursuing the business analytics immersive track. These courses equip me with the skills necessary to succeed in team and project-oriented roles. Some of the electives I've taken include data analytics for business, marketing analytics, service operations, and e-commerce. In each of these electives, we worked in groups to solve real-life business problems. For example, in my data analytics class, MBAs partnered with masters and analytics students to analyze grocery store data in order to make targeted recommendations for improved grocery store sales. Some of the big areas that many students find appealing are business analytics, strategic sustainability, entrepreneurship, and managing innovation and technology. I actually don't think there's any MBA job description that doesn't have an aspect of technology and analytics, so these are just 2 important concentrations under which you could take classes.
I mentioned we wouldn't go through every elective in detail, but I would like to discuss practicums. A practicum is a class where students are grouped up with a company and have a semester-long consulting project that they can put on their resume. So it's all real-world experience. A practicum is an elective besides the required core class that you see here of strategic management. Some practicums, students are signing non-disclosure agreements with a company. They'll travel to that company. They'll meet with executives in person. This slide lists some of our practicum courses, and we'll start with that required strategic management core class that all students take second semester. Lexi will explain her class and project with that.
The strategy practicum is the core strategy class all students take during their first year of spring semester. You work in groups of 5 to 6 students, and each group is assigned an actual client partner. In the past, we've worked with companies including Delta Airlines, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, Deloitte, Home Depot, and NCR, just to name a few. Your group meets with one of the senior level executives from the company, who then gives your team an actual strategy problem the company is facing today. At the end of the semester, you present to the class and to that executive how your group would face that strategic issue. My group worked with the Vice President and CFO of Mobility and Entertainment at AT&T to develop a strategy on how to increase the lucrative post-paid wireless base through the leveraging of Time Warner Cable's assets. And prior to attending Scheller, having the opportunity to develop recommendations for an acquisition that would change the telecommunications and media landscapes was something I literally never envisioned being a part of as a student. This strategy course is always a favorite class for many students because it gives you such great hands-on experience.
So just to repeat, a practicum is an elective, or the strategic management class is required, but it's a 3-credit-hour class where students are working directly with companies and getting that real-world experience that they can put in their resume. So other popular practicums are listed on this slide. I'll go ahead and describe a few of them, but again, we won't be able to go through every single one in detail. First, pro bono consulting. This is a course where students work with nonprofits, helping them to resolve key strategic issues. Companies that this class has worked with in the past include Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, American Cancer Society, and the Girl Scouts. The international practicum is also referred to as the Global Consultancy Project. This groups students up with an international company for the semester. During spring break, students travel overseas to tour facilities, meet with their clients, learn how business is done abroad, and provide a presentation to company executives. Last year, students went to Israel, Japan, Turkey. This year, students are going to South Africa, China, Israel, and Hungary. The IT practicum is part of the leading digital transformation immersive track, but it could be taken on its own as well. The elective course, this practicum applies what you've learned in the core information technology management course with hands-on experience. And clients for this class in the past have included IBM, Microsoft, AT&T, and Coca-Cola Enterprises. So we're going to switch gears again to now discuss the career services at the Scheller College of Business. Our career services team works closely with the students to provide expert coaching, professional resources, and effective tools to help explore career options, enhance its marketability, and proactively manage their career path. Career advisors are also corporate relation managers. Each advisor is in direct contact with a set of corporate recruiters. They help those recruiters set up company info sessions for our students, post jobs, and more. This relationship allows our career service team to know what recruiters are looking for so they can advise MBA students directly. Advisors can give direct feedback to students after interviews because of this relationship. A few months before your MBA program begins, you'll hear from your career advisor and begin working on your career development. Our 27-to-1 career advisement ratio allows advisors to spend lots of time with each student throughout the full 2 years. Before and during the MBA program, you'll go through a career development workshop. This workshop includes lots of topics, such as creating a high-impact resume, preparing for the company info sessions, personal branding on social media, a guided tour of all of the resources here at Georgia Tech, how to navigate a career fair, how to network, how to case interview, dressing for success, and more. There are also numerous alumni panels throughout the workshop. After the workshop, students meet with their advisor continuously so they can strategize their internship and full-time job search. There are also corporate office hours where students meet individually with recruiters. There are consulting boot camps, case interview workshops, and more. Every winter, career advisors take students on a voluntary West Coast trek. In the past, students have visited Google, Nest, Oracle, HP, Tesla, Airbnb, Facebook, and more. There is usually an alumni reception during this trek since many of our MBA alumni are on the West Coast and are a big help setting up the company visits. Lexi's going to walk us through her experience with the Jones MBA Career Center.
The Georgia Tech Career Services team is one of the reasons students come to Georgia Tech for their MBA. Advising begins the summer before you even set foot on campus. You'll meet with your advisor a few months before classes start and start to discuss those career goals and the strategies to accomplish them. I met with Kevin, my career advisor, over the summer, and we got to know each other and begin to make a list of potential target companies. Then the first few weeks of the semester, you'll be part of a 35-hour career development workshop. Career Services will help you succeed at career fairs, company info sessions, and interviews. Throughout my internship and full-time job interview experience, I've received feedback and guidance from my career advisor about how to perform in an interview at a high level. I met with Kevin before each interview, and I had to do a practice interview specific to that company. And I really do think it was those practice interviews with Kevin that really set me up for success in getting job offers. It's because of our small ratio of students to career advisors that we can spend so much time practicing, strategizing, and understanding our resources.
This slide shows the class of 2018 compensation. 97% of our class of the 2018 MBA graduates were employed within 90 days of graduation. The average base salary was just over $112,000, which does not include a sizable signing bonus most of our students see. This also does not take into consideration cost of living. Although we do place students across the country, and students can obviously choose to go anywhere they'd like to after graduation, some of our students do tend to stay in the Southeast by choice, where we do enjoy a lower cost of living. You can see our average signing bonus here as well, just over $21,000, and we have had 100% internship placement for the past several years. All internships are paid. We'll conclude the recording with information about the admissions and application process to the Scheller College of Business MBA program. Some basic things to mention are that the application is 100% online. Please upload copies of resumes, transcripts, and test scores. If you're a Georgia Tech alumni, you do not need to request transcripts. They will automatically be attached to your application. Admissions interviews are by invitation only, and every student must interview to be admitted to the program. The full-time MBA program enrolls once a year, fall semester. Admissions is a holistic process, meaning all factors are taken into consideration. I like to break the application down to two parts. First will be the potential for academic success, where we look at transcripts and test scores. When looking at transcripts, we do note rigor of classes attended or trends within your GPA. So please upload any past academic work, including master's and PhD programs. We do not have a preference of GMAT over GRE, but we do require a valid test score to apply, and a valid test score would be one that has been earned in the last 5 years. If you have not yet taken the GMAT or GRE, I do recommend taking it twice. We'll accept your best score on any one test date. We can't combine test dates, but we don't average scores, and we want you to get the highest score you can. We'll only use one score when evaluating the rest of your application, so please don't cancel your scores, have them sent to us, and plan on taking it twice to get the best score that you can. The bottom part of this slide shows the rest of the application. Work experience is an important component. We're not looking for any one type of work experience, but it's important to have experiences that will allow you to contribute to the classroom. You'll get much more out of the MBA program with work experience first, because you'll be able to add to the conversation at an MBA level. Also, corporate recruiters prefer that MBA students have at least 2 or 3 years of work experience before applying to their jobs that they have posted here. The application has 2 required essays and an optional essay. The first required essay is a basic statement of purpose asking why an MBA from Georgia Tech. So describe how your experiences, both professional and personal, have led you to the decision to pursue an MBA at Georgia Tech. Discuss your short and long-term career goals and how Georgia Tech is best suited to help you achieve those goals. The second essay question asks you to share 10 facts about yourself that you would share with future classmates. This is just a chance for us to get to know you better outside of transcripts, test scores, and career goals. So just be truthful and tell us 10 facts about yourself that you'd like to share with future classmates. The optional essay gives you an opportunity to address any concerns that you may not have been able to put elsewhere in the application. It is truly optional. Don't feel that you need to use the optional essay, but if you're concerned about a lower GPA or test scores, or if you have limited work experience, please use that optional essay to address that concern. We do require 2 letters of recommendation. Choose a recommender you've worked closely with who can speak to your skills and abilities. Think about managers in the past, current supervisors, clients, customers, or even a coworker. We do prefer professional references over academic references. And finally, interviews. Competitive applicants will be invited for an admissions interview. Interviews are held on campus. We post interview dates for each round on our website. Arrive early, wear business formal, and be ready to answer behavioral-based questions. If you are out of state or out of the country, we can schedule interviews by Skype. However, if you're able to visit in person, it's a great experience. You'll not only complete your admissions interview, but you'll also get to tour campus, meet with potential future classmates, and also meet a lot of current students, faculty, and career advisors. This slide reviews 80% ranges and averages of the full-time MBA class of 2020. You want to aim to be competitive with the GMAT and GRE statistics you see on the right side of the screen. You can also see that the students average a 3.3 undergraduate GPA, and they average 5 years of work experience. We're very proud of our diverse community. This class is 15% international, 18% U.S. minorities, 5% veterans, and 40% women. We review applications on a round system. This slide shows the general months of our deadlines, but check our website for the specific application round deadline dates, which change slightly from year to year. The benefit of the round systems is that you can plan ahead, knowing when you will receive your admission decision based on when you apply. We also post our interview days for each round on the website. Take note and be mindful of our deadlines, but apply when your best application is completed. I never advise someone to rush an application just to make a deadline. So again, apply when your most competitive application is completed. Once we have received your completed application, you will receive a decision by the date specified in the applicable round. International applicants are encouraged to apply by round 2 due to the visa process. With graduate tuition, look carefully at the return on investment, which we discussed earlier in this recording. Our tuition is one of the lowest for a top 30 MBA program, and our ROI, return on investment, is always ranked very high from various publications. We have merit-based funding to offer, and this comes in the form of either a graduate assistantship or a fellowship. There is no separate application to earn a graduate assistantship or a fellowship. All applications are considered for merit-based funding. We're a proud member school of the Forte Foundation, an organization dedicated to advancing businesswomen. All females in our program are complimentary members of Forte, but we also have a few Forte fellowships to award each year as well. Georgia Tech has an excellent office of financial aid that I'd be happy to connect you with. We have a great contact in the registrar's office as well for our veterans who have post 9/11 or GI Bill benefits. Thank you for your interest in Georgia Tech and for listening to this recording. Finding the right fit for your MBA is an important decision. After hearing the overview we provided today, I encourage you to go back to the Scheler website and read and explore more. Look at the website for class visits and other upcoming admissions events. You can email us at mba@scheler.godtech.edu to request a pre-application consultation. And we do look forward to your application and hope that you apply. Thanks again so much for listening to this recording, and there is that email address I mentioned in the slide before that. We look forward to helping you and answering your questions, so please email us at mba@scheler.godtech.edu.